So next, we are going to hear from Ken Konkin, President and CEO of Tudor Gold. We'll be doing a fireside chat as well, and this is a new story, so I won't be as smooth as I just was on Mineros. So bear with me. Ken? All right, Ken. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here. Great venue, great facility, great show.
Good.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you for your support. So tell us a little bit about the company and where the location of the project is.
Yeah, it's a fairly new discovery in the Golden Triangle in British Columbia, northwestern British Columbia, in a well-known mining district. It was a project that has taken off since about 2019, and it's fairly not well known. It's the one thing we're trying to get the word out to investors. If I say, give me your Tudor story, you'll say, oh yeah, it's the thing on Showtime. So I said, no, close. It's a new large gold discovery. So it's a significant one because it does have multiple domains and a multiple critical metals component to it.
Okay. And so what is your history with the Golden Triangle? How did you find yourself there, and what brought you there?
We've got 15 minutes.
Oh, God.
Just in a nutshell, I was the project manager for Silver Standard for 20 years, hunting with Bob Quartermain, Joe Ofsnick, and Ken McNaughton. Did JV partners with Ross Beatty, and then finally landed back in my old stomping grounds where I started my career, is in the Golden Triangle. So I ran the Snowfields project from 2006 to 2010, but meanwhile moved the drills to the south at Bruce Jack Lake, and had the great fortune of hitting a very strong hole in 2009 that we hit 17 kilos, 16,995 grams gold over 1.6 meters, and didn't act on it. Honestly, we thought it was a one-off, and we didn't go after it. So I think history is repeating itself with the Tudor story, actually. But in 2010, we actually named it Valley of the Kings. So that was the Valley of the Kings deposit.
Okay.
And since then, I was thinking about going back to Peru to continue my career. Came back to Canada. I was going to retire until I met, faithfully, Mr. Walter Storm.
Okay.
And that's where the story begins.
Okay, very good. And so, major discovery. Obviously, we're now talking about developing that discovery. So maybe give us some highlights on the accomplishments since discovery.
Yeah, it was a strange thing because Walter was just coming off a success with Sean Rosen, great guy, and I love his analogy where natural born stupidity trumps AI. I'm going to use that. I think I got this one. And I think going forward with Walter, it was something where they didn't have a great view of what they had in front of them. So in 2018, I looked at it and I said, guys, you have no idea what you've got, because I saw something that was in their core that I've seen at Snowfields. So yes, I was a natural choice for Walter, and it was just a natural good fit. So I came on scene and began working in 2019. And one of the very first phone calls I fielded in the office was Eric Sprott. He called out of the blue, asking me about the project, and he's been a loyal investor ever since, trying to hold his 20% on the project. So as an investor base, we are tightly held, close to 42%, with a good, strong shareholder base in Germany too, where the seed money had come from.
Okay,
initially.
And given how prolific the Golden Triangle is, and from producers to explorers, maybe share how you've been able to attract talent and your team, and highlight whoever you'd like in discussing how these folks are helping you advance the project.
And Walter was an elderly gentleman at the time, and he unfortunately passed away. So I started being the project manager, became VP of project development, and VP project development of exploration. And then they nominated me to be the CEO president, and I said, whoa, just hold on. I talked to my friend and neighbor, Ross Beatty. Are you busy? No, he's busy. Bob Quartermain, you got to come out of retirement. Bob says, no, Ken, I'm in Dakota. I said, really? In Panama? Really? What am I doing wrong? So then finally I thought to myself, okay, I'll just suck it up. I wanted to be the interim, but they said, no interim, you're the president, so okay.
Excellent.
I'll do my best. And anyway, so I brought back the band. I brought back Joe Ofsnick, Ken McNaughton as my advisors. Natalie Sanger was our basically resource development. So we are well versed at taking any kind of even grassroots project and really realizing the upside potential in drilling and fast tracking it to advanced exploration, to development, and oddly enough to exploration, to production. So as a rule of thumb, you never see a project that gets discovery. For example, we named Valley of the Kings in 2010. We actually poured Dory in 2017. So that's like a world record in a NDP government, which has been good. I mean, Ascot, Derek Weiss done well. He's poured Dory now. And so the whole triangle is getting a lift off. And we need deposits. And if I was to pan the room right here, how many of you have ever heard of Tudor? And don't say Showtime, please. And then if you did, how many ounces do we have? They don't realize that this is a giant. It's 27.9 million ounces. 27.9 million ounces of indicated. Inferred is 6 million ounces of indicated, of 1.25. It is a bulk tonnage, and the actual, that's the, the inferred. The indicated is a 1.19. Now, everybody would look at me and say, why are you drilling? And I'm saying to myself, well, there's two things you don't understand about the deposit. There's variability within it. There's very consistent grades, but the variability is, it is what you need it to be. So when we started out the initial resource, it came out at kind of a poopy 0.74. I didn't like it, but the inferred was 0.79. It told me I hadn't gone to the center of mass. So every time I looked at my own charts of vectoring for the heart, I kept coming back with drills and getting success. Now try and simulate this number. We've spent about $55 million on Goldstorm, the deposit, and we've come up with over 27.9 million ounces of indicated. That's absolutely phenomenal. So that's a toonie per ounce. So you try that anywhere. My old record at Snowfields was a loonie, but let's go with inflation, right? Let's blame inflation for that. I mean, I haven't lost my edge. So, but the key thing is we've actually, as a small group, we are tenacious, but we have the ability to adapt. And 2020, having a conversation with Eric, I was saying, well, geez, we want to build this gold company, but we actually nicked a bunch of copper. So what we did is we had a pivotal moment where we said, let's focus on copper here because I think we're going to see some outbreak of copper, gold, silver. So this is a copper, gold, silver project with one major component that has all the copper. The other two other domains don't have significant copper to worry about. Just the CS600, the copper stream 600 domain, is approaching 18, all categories, 18 million ounces of gold equivalent, of which we've got about 10 million ounces of gold and indicated, about another 3 million ounces of gold and inferred, but 3 billion pounds of copper at 0.31, a good grade. So going forward with this to get the word out that this is a critical industrial metal because it does have silver, and that's I did that for 20 years, and I'm telling you this would have been on the radar for Silver Standard because it had over 100 million ounce potential. We're at about 140 million, 130 million ounces of silver, and the key is now to curtail the exploration to get it to develop, and the reason why I'm drilling is because we're sitting at 1.19, we're trying to get to 1.25, get whatever we can squeeze out of this to get the highest internal rate of return. However, remember where I began the story. We started at Brucejack hunting a low-grade deposit, but we tripped into a high-grade event. Well, that happened. We actually tripped into what we call a supercell. So think of a nebulous expanding universe of a low-grade bulk deposit, and within it are kind of like high bursts of energy like lightning. Within it are these supercells, and we nicked one. And these are 25 meters of 10 grams. It's 4.5 meters of 21 gram. It was 15 meters of 15.6 gram gold. It was 12 meters of 10 gram. These are Valley of the King numbers now. Their resource has been now put back to about 8 grams in total, even though it has super high grade, it has super grade, no doubt about it. But this is native gold peppered over a very discrete hydrothermal breccia that's a late stage event that is the upper contact of CS600. So what we're doing is elegantly drilling 3 shots with 1 barrel, core barrel, going through Supercell 1, going through CS600, expanding, converting that 6 million ounces of 1.25 gold equivalent to our indicated, to try and come out with our best foot forward on an internal rate of return. So if we do that with the sweetener, I think we've got the solution to this thing. So we don't want to have this overly large, we don't want to get into basically an ounce war with, say, our neighbor Seabridge. They've got this wonderful undeveloped 40 million ounce gold deposit with 7 billion ounces of copper. Well, we're about half, but in one spot with a higher grade, much higher grade, almost double actually. So when you see that, no tunnels required, straight road, Seabridge has brought the road halfway. The upside is, I had a great question from my old good friend of mine. She came up and asked me, says, well, what's going to be your kind of your roadblock? And I said, perception of people, the negativity. People calling this nothing more than a geochem anomaly.
Okay.
Stuff like that. You should see the stuff we heard at Bruce Jack. Can't build it. First Nations is a problem. No, none of that. All further from the truth. So my job now, as CEO, president, is to get the word out, to offer this and put this on your radar. This, for under $1, has got to be one of the best investment opportunities. Statements forward, right? Truly, keep me out of jail, please. And I think that it's at a 5-year low for us for value, and we're just coming out each and every 2 years. We've increased that resource significantly, but more importantly, we've increased the treadmill. We've actually increased the pit cutoffs. It started at 0.3, went to 0.5. Now we're at 0.7 on the pit. The underground started at 0.46, went to 0.7, now it's 0.75. These are the cutoffs, 0.75. We have a very tight range and very tight geological model, but the really killer aspect of this, what if we were to drop that or increase that cutoff more? Go to 1 gram. Well, you'd be shocked to see, and go to the website to look at it, we're about a 1.4. We don't lose many ounces, 1.4 grams, gold equivalent. However, we're still about close to 20 million ounces, 19 million ounces. So we didn't lose much. So a very, very great upstart story. And there's 3 more of these. This is one of 4. So we're just working on 1. There are 3 others. Calm Before the Storm, the Eureka, which may be connected, but the big one, the Perfect Storm. Halfway distance between Iron Cap and Gold Storm. Why call it the Perfect Storm? It's the perfect structural storm. It's on my old friend, Bruce Jack Lake Fault, sound familiar, with the treaty thrusts. It's the intersection of faults. So we're really excited about the blue sky, but we're going to close off the story first and get it to where we can get to a PEA. And we're working with our engineers to look at facilities, site planning, all that. But all of this, we're trading at 75 to 80 cents. And we're about a 180 million market cap. So we were, before the slide, comfortably trading around 330 million market cap, roughly, up to half a billion, which was probably too much speculation on a couple of real big, wild, crazy holes. We hit some incredible numbers. And in closing, I'll just put this out there for you guys. Try and hit a perfect 1,000. Let's bat a perfect 1,000. Well, we've done it consistently at Bruce Jack. At Bruce Jack, that means you have to do a meter of 1,000 grams. We did that over and over. In fact, we were the world's leader for 5 years in through-bit 1 meter intercepts in the world. 5 years, nobody beat us. Try the inverse, 1,000 meters at a gram. This project's done it 3 times.
Wow.
I don't think anywhere on the planet you can compare this thing. So we're having tough comparables. Galore Creek, we're larger than Galore. Shaft Creek, we got the grades beat by a mile. Next door, we got the grades beat by a mile. Infrastructure should be an easy laydown. And we're not building it because I don't want to spend $25 million on finishing off the road. I would much rather put the rest of the dollars and cents into these supercells and see if we can convert and see if lightning does repeat itself, strike twice. Do we find another Valley of Kings?
Wow.
So we're on that road right now. So drills are turning. I'm telling you, I got a smile on my face from what I'm hearing from camp. So I think it's going to be a great future for Tudor.
Amazing, amazing, Ken. That's quite a story. New to me, as you know, but something I'm going to follow up on, because clearly you're onto something. And so congratulations on all of your accomplishments. I'll be looking. I think the audience will be watching, and good luck. with
You're
everything.
invited to the ribbon cutting ceremony in 5 years.
Yes,
Well,
I'll be
according to
there.
Sean over here, it's going to take 4. So for permitting, no, it'll take about end of decade. So yeah, thank you so much for this. I mean,
you.
everybody, it's a wonderful venue. We'll be back.
Good. Awesome.
Well, watch on the uptakes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Great one.
Yeah, thank you.